Once upon a time, in the heart of a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there stood a charming cottage with a thatched roof. This village, named Eldenwood, was a place where time seemed to move a little slower, and the air was filled with the sweet fragrance of wildflowers. In this serene setting lived a young woman named Elara. Elara was known for her ethereal beauty and her kind, gentle nature. She had auburn hair that cascaded down her shoulders like a waterfall, and her eyes sparkled like emeralds. But what set Elara apart was her love for nature and the stories she wove around the flora and fauna that surrounded her. One bright morning, as the golden rays of the sun painted the sky with hues of pink and orange, Elara set out on her daily walk through the village. She meandered through cobblestone pathways, exchanging smiles and greetings with the villagers who were beginning their day. Her destination was the village square, where a centuries-old oak tree stood tall, its branches stretching out like protective arms. Under the shade of the ancient oak, Elara found a weathered bench, a perfect spot for her to observe the world around her. As she sat down, a sense of calm enveloped her, and she felt a deep connection with the natural world. It was here that Elara's imagination took flight, and she began to see the stories hidden in every leaf, every rustling breeze. On this particular day, as Elara closed her eyes and listened to the symphony of birdsong, she felt a strange presence, as if the very air around her was charged with magic. Opening her eyes, she noticed an elderly man approaching her, his steps slow and deliberate. His long silver beard flowed like a river, and his eyes held the wisdom of ages. "Greetings, young one," he said, his voice carrying the weight of tales untold. "I am Alaric, a wanderer who has roamed these lands for many years. I sense a kindred spirit in you, someone who sees the beauty in the simplest of things." Elara, intrigued by the old man's aura, smiled warmly and gestured for him to join her on the bench. As they sat beneath the ancient oak, Alaric began to share tales of his travels, of mystical creatures and forgotten kingdoms. Elara, in turn, shared her stories of the village and the wonders of nature that surrounded them. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Eldenwood, Elara and Alaric forged a bond that transcended time. The villagers, curious about the mysterious wanderer, soon embraced him as one of their own. Alaric, in return, became a source of inspiration for the villagers, weaving enchanting tales that brought a sense of magic to their everyday lives. One day, as autumn leaves painted the landscape in shades of red and gold, a hush fell over Eldenwood. Alaric gathered the villagers beneath the ancient oak and spoke of a long-forgotten tradition, the Rustic Reverie. Legend had it that once every century, when the stars aligned, the village would come together to celebrate the magic that dwelled in their midst. Excitement rippled through Eldenwood as preparations for the Rustic Reverie began. Villagers adorned the square with fairy lights, and tables were laden with a feast of seasonal delights. Elara, with her innate connection to nature, took charge of creating a mesmerizing floral display that would serve as the centerpiece of the celebration. As night fell and the moon cast its silvery glow, the Rustic Reverie commenced. Villagers, dressed in attire reminiscent of bygone eras, danced beneath the twinkling lights, their laughter echoing through the night. Alaric, with his eyes sparkling like the stars above, shared tales of ancient rituals and the magic that resided in the hearts of those who believed. In the midst of the celebration, Elara found herself in a quiet corner of the square, surrounded by the beauty she had helped create. As she gazed at the flickering fireflies and listened to the melodic hum of the night, Alaric approached her. "Elara," he whispered, "you are the heartbeat of this village, the one who brings its stories to life. Tonight, as the rustic reverie weaves its magic, remember that the true enchantment lies within you." With those words, Alaric disappeared into the night, leaving Elara with a sense of wonder and a heart brimming with gratitude. As the rustic reverie continued, Elara joined the dance, her movements fluid and graceful, a living embodiment of the stories she had come to love. As the first light of dawn painted the sky in hues of lavender and rose, the rustic reverie came to an end. Villagers returned to their homes with hearts full of joy and memories that would linger for generations. Elara, guided by the wisdom of Alaric, continued to find magic in the ordinary, weaving tales that would be passed down through the ages. And so, in the heart of Eldenwood, where time moved a little slower and the air was filled with the sweet fragrance of wildflowers, the rustic reverie became a cherished tradition, a celebration of the enchantment that could be found in the rustic simplicity of life.